There are two certainties in life. It's that cheaters suck and nobody puts baby in a corner. And you don't have to scroll through DayZ videos for long before you read someone claiming cheaters ruined their drywall. But with there being a number of hacks readily available and with an impressive 4 million players joining the DayZ community just last year alone, it's safe to say some of them may have shown up with less than honest intentions. But here I'll actually explore if DayZ is a hackfest or if it's just been blown out of proportion. If you like the video, please leave a like or a subscribe, it really helps me out. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Time to die. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. So, straight into it. The answer to this is complicated, because no, it isn't. Sort of. And the second I said that, I could hear the popping bubbles of the blood boiling from so many players who have stories behind them, like the time they were looting in Chernarus and somebody shot them all the way from Livonia. But I'm not claiming they don't exist. They do. I mean, DayZ themselves, with BattleEye, banned more than 30,000 players for cheating just last year, so they're clearly there. But although on first glance this sounds like a lot, if you apply this number to the 4 million new players, plus the millions of existing and concurrent/unique players DayZ has, you get like 0.2%. And yes, this isn't including the community bans from private servers, but the reasons people are banned there are less cut and dry. Most people are banned for rule breaks, but comparatively and proportionally speaking, these numbers are much lower than what is presumed to be the industry standard for percentages of cheaters. But before I get into the meat of this video, let's dive a little deeper into why people claim it's rife with hackers. One of the first issues with this assumption lies with people's first instinct when killed in a way they can't explain. No matter the circumstances, no matter the situation, it's almost always put down to cheaters or hackers if you can't explain it. And I've done the same myself. You're walking through a forest or inside of a house and then BAM! You're stood on a cloud talking to a giant Rongalas. But most of the time it wasn't a hack. DayZ is a game that is gravely misunderstood by a lot of those who attempt to play it, with everything from the difficulty curve to the systems it has in place behind the scenes. But let's break it down between PC and console. Firstly, last month I put over 250 hours into console alone and never encountered a single hack, but I was met with duping and the occasional alt account. In fact, I have thousands of hours across both consoles and actually have a pretty consistent and hack-free experience. There are issues on console, to be clear, but on current gen, official and community, it's a pretty nice way to experience DayZ, and it's quite unusual to experience hacking of any kind. But what about PC? Yeah, it's definitely here, but even these are not at a level it's claimed and is greatly misunderstood and overreported. Hear me out, stop the blood boiling, because one of the main and often overlooked factors is admin abuse. Admin abuse is rife on so many servers. The godlike tools, the ESP, the spawning, the traveling, the map, the invisibility are all available to admin, none of which are hacks. They're extremely basic mods anyone can add to their server, and when abused, the players have no proof or access to usage logs, meaning they can be a victim and not even know it. So in the instances you do suffer bad server owners, which is something Anarchy HD has shown us can happen to even well-established and respected servers, you'd easily think the issue was obviously hackers, when in reality, it isn't. It's one of the reasons I seldom play on servers if the admins play on those servers with admin-activated accounts and not accounts with zero admin powers, or admins who clearly have friends enjoying their server, because the vast majority of instances of cheater claims appear to be admin-related and not player-related. But let's roll it back a second. This is not a shot at private servers or the admin on them, quite the contrary. Community servers are the backbone of a fun DayZ experience for so many people, and they do have a more clear and concise reporting procedure than official, meaning that if you have good admin, they can usually cut out the problem and make you whole again. Active admin who are transparent with their community really do even the playing field here. And if you've ever wondered how you can quickly identify good admin, just look at how they interact with others. If they're professional and well mild-mannered, they're trying to run a positive community. If they seem irritable, offensive, they just don't seem to care, or they're a bit arrogant in places such as Discord or Facebook groups, you can bet anything they're the kind of admin you don't want to engage with. So although there are still many cases of cheating here too, community servers are pretty good at squashing the problem quickly when it happens, but bad server owners are the opposite and can easily be confused with a hacker. Then there's another issue, completely separate to admin abuse, and it starts with DayZ's smoke and mirror approach to its features. People actually don't know everything that is in the game because it's never actually told to them, such as the bullet system. We've all had situations where we've been snugly tucked into a building, clearly out of sight and away from any windows, only to be sopranoed where everything suddenly goes black and you're left wondering what the hell just happened. In these situations, with hackers being on your mind, it's easy to assume you were killed by them and not by the intricate bullet penetration systems or ricochet systems or multiple projectile systems or drop systems or one of the dozens of other complex systems that exist in the background of DayZ, because no one has explained this anywhere. It's difficult to believe when you're told there are very few impossible shots on DayZ because you really don't know where your shots are going to end up, but getting shot behind a wall, around them, under them, or even through them sometimes is entirely possible without the need for a single hack. Sometimes it's just bad luck, and this becomes so much clearer when you see how the bullet system actually works in real time. It's interesting how DayZ has a reputation for this sort of thing when I wouldn't even put it in the top 20, maybe not even in the top 100 most hacked popular games, and given the growing player base and huge monthly members, it is definitely worthy of being in that category. And even if we ignore the 30,000 bans per year, they're also implementing new ways to prevent potential dishonesty, and this is achieved with the constant release of patches which have included literally hundreds to thousands of fixes to tackle any bugs over the last few years, including glitches or other such exploits, as well as reworking entire features we now have in the game to better create a more solid experience. So does this mean that you haven't been the victim of a cheater or a hacker? No. Not at all. Though it does make the case for just how blown out of proportion the claims have the potential to be, because this game is not the same game it was 5 years ago, but we're still hearing the same things from the community, and yeah, it still has a long way to go, and there are many potential exploits that need addressing, but they're slowly being addressed. And to see exactly what I mean, and for the video to instantly improve your PvP, click here, or for something else, click here. And as always, until next time.